website, right, for your business? Is it just like a pretty brochure?
Right.
Can it be
So
more?
yeah. So a lot of people don't understand like your website for your business should be an investment. Like it should make you money. And it should save you time. Like it should be a super, super cheap employee for you that like
That.
works for you. Like a lot of people are like, oh, I need a website if I have a business. And you definitely do. Like you need a website for like trustworthiness and showing that you're a valid, real business. But it shouldn't just be an expense. It should be doing stuff.
Hi, I'm Bet Hochberger, CPA, CGMA. This channel aims to educate you on tax, tech, crypto, and finance related news. Come learn how to grow and keep your wealth.
Today we have the illustrious. Do you like that? Illustrious?
I love it. I love it.
Nicole from Ventus Design Studio, we're going to talk about a fantastic topic that I personally love for my own reasons.
So I've been making websites for a super long time. I got really lucky and kind of found out what I loved doing when I was a teenager in high school, and I got my like first professional web design job at like 16 years old.
Wow.
So yeah, I've been doing this for a super long time, and I've also always wanted to own my own business. So
let's just like hop right into it. So okay.
So that's what I try to do when I meet with new clients. We like have a meeting where I really figure out how to like make it work for you and not just exist.
So what's an example of it, like making money and working for you?
Right. So, well, with my website. The biggest thing that my website does that like, oh God, gives me such relief is whenever thankfully I get a lot of my clients from referrals, and they're like, Nicole, this person wants a website. Way before I used to be like, okay, when are you available? Can we hop on a call? And then I'd end up on, not only am I taking this time to like schedule the calls and figure out what works best in whose calendar, but then I get on these meetings all the time and it's people that like, it's not a good fit. And I'm wasting both of our times. So now I have my scheduling calendar on my website. I have a landing page that's specifically made for people that are interested in my services. They learn a little bit about me. They see my work samples. They see client testimonials, and my scheduling calendar is right there. Then after they schedule, it automatically goes on my calendar. They automatically get the Zoom link. They automatically get a calendar event on their calendar, and they get reminders. So I don't have to remind them. And then after they schedule, they get an intake form. So that way, if I find out they want an e-commerce subscription site with an online course and they're like, my budget's $10 a month, I could be like, let's just not do this call because it's never going to happen. So it saves me so much energy, so much time on my website like that.
That's awesome. I also use a scheduler, and it's like a godsend. To stop with the email or the phone call. Oh, can I talk to you about this quick question? That's never a quick question. It's no such thing, right?
Yeah. And
so that
makes it so much easier. Saves so much.
It really does. Do you have like a preferred scheduler that you think is better than others, or?
I mean, I use Calendly, but I've never really tried anything else because Calendly is just so pretty on my website, and it's so easy. And it like connects with all of my calendars so well. So I don't like it because I've chosen it over others. I just picked it and it works great. Yeah.
Yeah. I also use Calendly. I used to use Acuity Scheduling and I actually liked it better, but that's like the reason we're on Calendly is because of the website. So
yeah. Okay. That makes sense. It didn't connect to your website well?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and I don't know the details. I just know I missed some of those features, but
right.
Sometimes you need the tool that works the best, not the thing you like the best, but that's a whole nother discussion. I do want to ask you, you said landing page. Can you talk about that? What's a landing page?
So I'm kind of being a little loose with the landing page in my situation because it's a web page with a purpose, basically, for me, for when I send that page for scheduling. But ideally, landing pages should kind of be a standalone page that doesn't include your regular website navigation and has a direct goal that matches with the marketing campaign. And I know that's a lot of like words, but basically if you're doing paid ads, right? And you're selling like a pair of glasses, right? The paid ads you're doing should say, click here to buy a pair of glasses. And that landing page should only be about having people buy that pair of glasses.
Gotcha.
So it's very direct, very goal orientated, and there's nothing extra. You're only telling them to do one thing. So you're not distracting them with links elsewhere.
Gotcha. Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah.
So if you've got something that you're trying to feature, right? Like of a service, you don't want to just send them to your generic homepage that maybe has like everything.
Right.
You know, like keep it focused.
This is the thing. I actually did this with Shanice. We were in a meeting the other day and we were talking about it. So what kind of pizza do you want? Do you want pepperoni or cheese?
I don't eat either, but I'll go with cheese.
Okay.
Like gluten-free and dairy-free. Like,
Okay.
It's like a sore subject for me.
Sorry.
Pizza.
Sorry.
Gluten-free vegan pizza is not that exciting.
Okay, but if I say, do you want
good cheese pizza?
Pepperoni pizza or cheese pizza, or do you want subs, or do you want a hamburger, or do you want a hot dog, or do you want a salad, or do you want? You're gonna be like, you know what? I'm just not gonna eat again. You know,
many options.
Yeah. So you just want
Right.
to tell them one thing to do. This is where you get your pizza, and you just pick a flavor.
Gotcha. Okay. No, that makes a lot of sense. There's actually a lot of research about how when there's too many options, people's brains shut down. They're like, I can't pick anything. This is too complicated.
Yeah.
That's where we come up with that, those 3-tier pricing
Right.
things that you see all over the place. It's like, okay, I'm going to pick the middle one because that's just how our brains work.
Right. Yeah. It works
Makes
for
a lot of
like
sense.
that kind of psychological stuff with websites happens all the time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So can we talk about cost? I've
Sure.
heard people say like, oh, if you want a nice website, it's going to be like tens of thousands of dollars.
Right.
Does it have to be that crazy?
So, well, think about it this way. I like to use the website as a house analogy. And you could buy a house for like $1,000, you know, it's
Not
gonna,
Florida.
I mean, it's some places. Well, I'm saying you could buy a house for like, let's say you find a house for $50,000 in Florida.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. Yeah.
Can you imagine what that house is going to be like?
No.
You know, so you can, but like for my base websites, it takes about a month to build a website. So think about that. If you're buying a professional and they're going to work a month on your website, like they have to be able to like survive.
Live. Yeah.
So like a lot of times, you want to think too, like, again, is your website just going to be a thing that exists? So, okay, so you could spend like, let's see, I think the lowest price that you're going to get for somebody to make you a website is probably going to be like $1,000, right?
Okay.
Okay. So think about how much time you expect them to spend on your site for $1,000 and for it to be worth it for them to live as a human being. And so you can see how much effort they're going to put into it, you know? Then that's the point where you're going to get that website that's just a brochure. So then you can ask the question, am I going to buy something that's $1,000 that does nothing for me? Or am I going to buy something that's $10,000 that's going to make me $2,000 a month? So
because now we have an ROI in less than a year.
Right.
Now you're making a real business decision there.
Right. And then you can grow. And I say 10,000, but like 10,000 is kind of, okay, so here, let's talk actual numbers, right?
Okay.
My base website is about $5,000. That also includes all of the content in it. So we have a Zoom meeting and we talk for an hour and then I record it and I send it to my content writer and they write everything up. Okay?
Wow.
So it's a good price because you don't have to do anything that come to that meeting with me. And then the site's just done for you.
That's like amazing. And I don't know how many like people who are going to watch this have ever done content creation. I hate writing. I will shoot videos all day, every day. I don't mind. Like it's have to dry my hair, do some makeup, but writing is, oh my God. So that's like the ongoing battle we have with marketing is they're like, we need more content. That's actually enormous that you give a fully like it's not just it looks pretty.
Right.
There's stuff on it.
Right. So like with the writing, what I do is I like we also plan everything out there. I used to not include the content in my packages. And my clients at first were liked it that their websites were less expensive, but projects were stalled because my clients are busy, they're business owners.
Yeah.
So, and they're not professional content writers.
Right.
So
Right.
it would take forever for me to get it from them. And a
Yeah.
lot of times it just wouldn't be great. So I have this beautiful website and then the words are like, you know, buy this plant. And then it's disappointing because we've got a nice website and not nice words. So now I
Right,
include it. Everybody's happier with it. That's still just kind of like a base website though. When I talk like a $10,000 website, it's kind of be like a comfortable e-commerce site, you
Okay.
know? But at that point, you're like that's a direct ROI.
Yes.
That's a legit online business.
Yeah.
And,
What are you selling?
Right. Right.
or if you don't have a website, how are you selling? I guess is the real question.
Exactly. And to be fair, $10,000 is a lot cheaper than rent for a location.
Yeah,
now, of course, if you're doing e-commerce, a lot of people still have warehouses and stuff, but it's a
still
good
cheaper
like,
than retail storefront retail.
Exactly. So you're kind of thinking there. So we're going to kind of go in between 5,000 and 10,000 for me in terms of functionality and marketing, because we could also like in addition to e-commerce, we can set up like an online course that you can create and sell on your site. Or we can do.
Oh, I might need to talk to you about that after this.
We can do digital download.
Passive income.
Yes,
right?
Exactly. Oh my gosh, websites are so good for passive income. So websites are like. Wait, let me finish this thought first, and then
okay. Sorry.
It's okay.
The ADD kicks in.
It's okay. So we can do like what'll bring us from 5 to 10,000 is going to be adding in that functionality, the downloads that you could sell, e-commerce, anything that's more like intense functionality or integration is going to be that between that 5,000. And also if we're going to start doing some stuff for marketing, we're going to get in between that 5,000 and 10,000, because like if we're going to do like, say we're like content is going to be incredible for you, you know, if we decide that for your industry blog posts are going to get people into your site, and I want to be like, hey, let's throw in an extra 3 blog posts on that content writing, it'll up the price. Or if we're going to be like paid ads are the way to go, so I want to design a special dedicated landing page for your paid ads, that'll bring it up also. So that's kind of 5 to 10,000 is usually what I work with. If you're going like multiple tens of thousands, you're probably doing something like something more intense, like a web app, or like I had somebody message me recently, they wanted to do a dating site. If you want to do something like that, that's going to like, that's a lot. That's
a big project.
That's months long work for a team.
Yeah.
You know, if you want to do like a giant site, if you want to do like your own eBay and somebody quotes you $1,000, you might as well just throw the $1,000 in the garbage, because it's never gonna happen for the amount of work. You know?
Right.
That's like if somebody shows you a beautiful house in Westlake in Hollywood and they're like $50,000, you're like, there's nothing inside there. There's no plumbing. Something's wrong. So yeah, that's kind of how the pricing goes.
Okay, that makes, I think that's reasonable, right? If you're if you're coming at your website with the perspective of it is not just a cost, it's an investment. It should be generating whatever it is you need to generate, money, leads, etc. I mean, I will tell you, I'm in a boring industry, right? CPAs not exciting in general. Maybe me.
I mean, I think it's cool. It's cool. It's like a game. You guys like. One of my friends is an accountant. She explained it as like accounting is like the language of business, and I was like, "Ooh, it is."
Yeah,
so I like
kind of. Yeah, I get that. But we're like in general not the most creative people. So there's a few companies out there that there's probably a lot of companies at this point that will contact you as a CPA firm and say, "Hey, we'll make your CPA website." Yeah. And you can tell who's gone to those people because every single CPA website looks exactly the same. Right. So for me, it's like been a great differentiator to have not what everybody else has, That's why I put a lot of value in my website. So I think everything you're talking about, like worth every cent, it should do all the things you're saying.
Right. Now there are things you can do before you get to the point where you can hire somebody. Like a lot of my clients make their websites themselves. And then they don't want to do it anymore. They come to me. Most of my clients did hire somebody to do a website super cheap and it was awful. And then they need me to fix it, which is
what
fine.
you pay for.
Yeah, it's fine.
What you pay for.
Yeah, exactly. So that's fine. Also, I will say in my industry, so a lot of the ways web designers have successful businesses is if they pick an industry and they focus on that industry. And the way they can do it that way is they really do usually do just one template and then they work it for each person, which can be fine when you're just starting out, when you don't care to make money or be different. Like it can be fine because then you'll get a lower cost website. But again, if you want your website to work for you and you want it to be a employee of your business, it's worth the investment.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I say this, and sometimes I think I scare my staff a little. I'll be like, if I can have software do something that that I could avoid hiring a human to do, I'll do it every day. It's so much cheaper.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think I'm a little crazy because I say things like that, but it's the reality. Like, how much does it cost to have someone appointment set for you versus even if you had this like super expensive website, if it was 20,000, you're not hiring anybody for 20,000 these days to do anything for you.
And like, I think your employees shouldn't be scared because that just leaves you more money to pay them better.
Right. Exactly.
If you save money.
But it also frees people up to do more valuable things in your business, which is that's really the ultimate part of it. It's like, I don't need to hire people to do the silly repetitive stuff when computers could do it because I want you doing more better things.
Yeah, I haven't had to hire a virtual assistant yet because my my systems and my website, they automate so much stuff for me.
That's
it's
awesome.
Lovely. Yeah,
it is very cool. Let me ask you one other question. How often do you have to update? Like, how long does it take? And not necessarily content, like overhaul, because like I know my marketing people every once in a while, they're like, oh, this is so old. Your website's from last year. And I'm like, last year? You put so much effort in. You have to redo it every year? Like,
no. So I like to say 3 to 5 years for most websites to be redone. And that's because of technology changes. And your business changes and design trends change. So I was just working on a website reworking on a website I did in 2014. And
it's been a while.
Yeah. So what happened was WordPress, PHP is what WordPress runs on, and PHP needed to be updated. And when it was updated, the site stopped working.
I was gonna say something broke.
The site stopped working, which is, I mean, if you think about it, it's just reasonable because things are always advancing.
Yep.
And it's the code that was fine in 2014 just isn't fine anymore in 2020.
Yeah, it's true.
So the site's ready for a rebuild. Their specific site. And in general, I say 3 to 5 years because also your business is going to change. Like your goals now are probably different than they were 5 years ago.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. And things just get really outdated looking. You might not be like, oh, I don't have to be trendy, but like you are judged by your website. So if your website looks like it's from 1999, they're going to be like, this person doesn't care about their business,
But it's like if you watch a movie from 10 years ago, right? 10 years ago doesn't feel that long, right? That was 2012, right? That feels like yesterday. But you'll see like the film quality isn't as good and the fonts look old. They change over time and it's subtle. You don't feel it when you're in it. Yeah. But when you go and look back a few years, you're like, oh God.
Right. And you don't want your clients to look at your website and be like, oh, well, they don't care about updating their business or they don't care about keeping their business up to date. So 3 to 5 years in general. It also depends on your industry if you don't change a lot. And if you invest in a good website, like not to brag, but a lot of my websites are still good 5 years later, that my clients are so happy with. And they're like, and then we have to start talking at that point. But again, quality goes a long way with that. And if you want to talk about regular maintenance, you do have to keep your software updated. I offer that to my clients because again, sometimes it can break. So like when I keep my client software updated, I for my monthly maintenance, I do for my clients, I back up their site and then I update all their software and then I make sure it works. And so if
Good.
you're doing,
Sure
if
works.
if you're doing your own maintenance, continuous, I don't really like doing continuous updates. So a lot of hosts offer that. Because if something breaks, I wanted to know that it broke because I just did the update.
Right.
And so I like to have that control of it. But if you're doing your own updates, just back up your site first. So then if something does break, you can go back to the backup and
It's
restore
like the cardinal rule of anything technology, back it up before you change something.
Yes, it's so important. It's so,
We have that too, even an account, like even QuickBooks Online, people are like, oh, whatever, you don't need to. There's backup services for it.
right.
I use them, especially if I know we're doing a big project or
Yeah.
something. I'm like, if something goes sideways, because it always does, let me be able to roll back and
Yeah.
put it back to the unbroken state.
And that's again, that's the deal. And that's why a lot of times too, you want to go with high quality hosting also. Because a lot of people will do that like $2 a month website hosting and then realize it comes with nothing they need. Like it doesn't come with backups, which you need your backups. It doesn't come with an SSL certificate. You need an SSL certificate. So a good host matters with that stuff too.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Nicole, I don't want to keep you here all day, although I feel like we could keep talking about this for a
Okay.
long time.
I totally.
But in case anybody thought, a website was just something to look pretty,
Yeah.
it's so much more. So I really appreciate you coming on, you sharing all of your knowledge. And I think we'll have to do another one and talk about more stuff because I'm sure there's more things
For
to
sure.
talk about
Yeah,
on
thank you
websites.
thank you so much for having me. And next time we'll talk about how websites can do like a passive income investment.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I think I need to talk to you about that for myself.
Yeah.
But here, remember I said there was like something kooky at the end that I
Oh yeah.
tell you, so
Okay,
I'm just
ready
bring it on
for it.
you. Okay. So Nicole, do you have any like odd hobbies or something like wacky about you that you could
Yeah.
share with all of us? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I hula hoop. I do hula hoop tricks.
Really?
Yeah, I know a whole bunch of hula hoop tricks, and my boyfriend actually lit one of my hula hoops on fire recently, and I hula hooped with my hoop on fire. Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah,
you
you're so close. All right. Well, thank you so much again.
all right. Thank you, Nicole.
All right.
And
Bye-bye.
we'll see everyone next time. Awesome.
Bye.
Thanks.
Thank you for sticking around. I hope you learned something new. Please leave a comment, like, and subscribe to my channel if you want to continue improving your tax and financial literacy. Bye.